Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into data contracts.
Yeah, it's a topic coming up more and more.
Feels really timely. You shared some great stuff on why they're becoming so important, especially, with AI demanding more reliable data.
Exactly. Think of them like APIs, but for data.
Okay, an API for data. Explain that a bit.
Well, you know how an API provides a clear, stable way for software components to interact?
Sure. Predictability.
Right. Data contracts aim to do the same for data producers and consumers. It's about formalizing that exchange.
Moving away from guesswork and assumptions.
Precisely. We're treating data with the same kind of rigor we apply to software code.
So what's the big problem they're actually solving? Why now?
It really boils down to complexity and scale.
Yeah.
More data sources than ever, more teams using data in different ways.
Which leads to chaos.
Often, yeah.
Yeah.
Inconsistencies, reliability issues, breaks, and fundamentally a lack of trust in the data.
Can you give an example, like what kind of thing goes wrong?
Oh, easily. Imagine a team changes a database field, maybe switches units from, say, miles to kilometers.
Okay, seems simple enough.
But if downstream users aren't expecting that, bam! Pipelines break, reports are wrong. Maybe an AI model starts making really weird predictions.
Ouch. And finding that source.
Yeah.
That takes time.
A lot of time.
Yeah.
And money. It erodes confidence.
So data contracts step in as the solution here. How do they actually fix this?
They bring clarity, accountability, and predictability.
How so?
By clearly defining what data is being exchanged, the structure, the meaning, the quality expectations, it prevents those nasty surprises.
Eliminates ambiguity.
Exactly. And it sets clear responsibilities. Who owns this data? Who ensures its quality?
Ultimately building trust back up.
That's the goal. Better data quality, more efficient teams, because they're not constantly firefighting data issues.
Okay, let's break it down. What are the core pieces? What's in a data contract?
First up is the schema definition. That's like the blueprint.
The structure.
Right. Field names, data types, is it text, a number, a date? And are fields mandatory or optional?
And there are standard ways to write this down.
Yeah. Things like JSON schema or Avro are pretty common formats for defining that structure clearly.
Got it. Structure first. What else?
Then, crucially, the semantic layer. This is about the meaning.
Okay, more than just the format.
Much more. It covers business logic. What does this field actually represent? Are there constraints, like a temperature field shouldn't have impossible values?
Or that miles versus kilometers thing you mentioned.
Precisely. That's a semantic error. Structure might be fine, but the meaning is wrong, which can be harder to catch sometimes.
Makes sense. What about guarantees around the data feed itself?
That falls under service level agreements, or SLAs, but focused on the data.
Data-centric SLAs.
Yeah. Things like, how fresh will the data be? How often is it updated? What's the expected latency? What are the data quality targets?
So different from typical IT SLAs about system uptime.
Right. This is about the data's characteristics, not just the pipe it flows through.
And security. Privacy. Especially with AI.
Absolutely essential. That's governance and security. It covers encryption, who can access what, how you handle PII, personal identifiable information.
Which is super critical for AI models using sensitive data.
And auditing, too. Tracking access and changes.
Anything else in the contract?
You'll often see specific data quality rules defined right at the field level, like user read can never be null.
Granular checks.
And finally, clear ownership. Who's the point person? Who's accountable?
Okay, that's quite comprehensive. How does one of these actually get created and used?
It usually starts with creation, often in a simple text format like YAML or JSON, stored in Git alongside code.
So engineers can manage it like code.
Exactly. Then there's usually some negotiation and approval between the data provider and consumer.
Making sure everyone agrees on the terms.
Right. And versioning is key. Data needs change, so contracts need versioning just like software, which leads to evolution adapting the contract over time.
Okay, the contract exists. How do you enforce it? How do you make sure people stick to it?
Enforcement happens at different points. You can build checks into CI/CD pipelines.
Catching problems early, before they deploy.
Yep. You can enforce it during data streaming, validating data in real time as it moves.
And for data already stored.
You can run checks on data at rest in warehouses or lakes. And when violations happen, you need strategies alerts, maybe blocking the bad data or sending it to a dead letter queue for review.
What about when the schema needs to change legitimately? You mentioned evolution.
Schema evolution. That's critical. You need to manage changes carefully.
Breaking versus non-breaking changes.
Exactly. Adding a new optional field, usually okay. Removing a field someone relies on, that's a breaking change. You aim for backward compatibility where possible.
And tools help with this.
Yeah, things like schema registries play a big role here. They help manage versions and enforce compatibility rules, stopping breaking changes from being deployed accidentally.
This all feels incredibly relevant for AI and machine learning.
Absolutely fundamental. Think about it. AI models are completely dependent on the data they're trained on and used for predictions.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely. Data contracts help ensure the data is ready, it's fresh, the semantics are correct, PII is handled properly. It directly supports data-centric AI.
The idea that improving the data is often better than just tweaking the model.
You got it. Contracts provide that foundation of quality and reliability. You could even see contracts defining things like context windows for models in the future.
So looking ahead, where do you see data contracts going?
I think we'll see more standardization, maybe common frameworks emerge, definitely deeper integration with AI development and governance.
That is wider use.
Oh, definitely wider adoption. As data systems get more complex, the need becomes clearer and probably more sophisticated tooling, especially around enforcing those semantic rules automatically.
This has been really illuminating. It feels like data contracts offer a structured path out of data chaos.
They do. It requires a bit of a shift in thinking, treating data with formal agreements, but the payoff in reliability and trust is huge.
So for you listening, take a moment to think about your own data workflows. Where are the friction points? Where does data cause unexpected problems? Could a formal data contract be the thing to bring some order and, frankly, peace of mind, especially as you lean more into AI?
It's a powerful concept to consider.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.